Hey everyone, welcome back to Go and Grow Homestead. In today's video, we're going to tackle some of those garden maintenance projects that I have started and haven't been able to finish. We'll just see how many things I get done today. I'm just going to set this on record and not do as much talking, do a little bit of harvesting of a few things as well. I'm going to get the last 2 blueberry bushes planted here from our trip. And I need to get some hardware cloth down in a few places, and I'd also like to try to manage these pumpkin plants. And then look at these beautiful morning glories, guys. They're exactly how I pictured them being out here, trailing up our trellis here. They're beautiful, and that is really cool. It's a morning glory that's wrapped up with a pumpkin, so that's fun. But okay guys, I'm gonna stop talking now and we'll just show you what we're doing in today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the channel, share the video. Have a good day. Okay, I thought I would take a moment to just say a few things about cleaning up pumpkin plants and talk about some of the things we have going on in our pumpkin patch. So first, I do have squash vine borers. I'm pretty sure that's what the issue is here. Every single one of these plants is affected. My acorn squash are affected too, but not nearly as bad. And that's something that I want to do a separate video on, of course. But part of cleaning up today was removing dead foliage, removing sections that maybe aren't growing anything, removing plants that at this point haven't fruited or don't appear healthy at all. So we thinned that out, and I know it looks a little rough right now, but this is good for the pumpkin patch to do that, especially with the squash vine borers. I do need to address those, but also these are decorative pumpkins, and I've got quite a few already. I'm not super concerned about that, but also in doing that, we open up airflow, which also helps prevent some potential for fungus and just other rot on the plant that you don't want. It gives more sunlight to the leaves and the parts of the plants that are growing. So let's just take a minute to look at some of the pumpkins, and then we'll go on to the next thing I wanted to talk about. There's a little one. That's pretty big. That one's gorgeous. That white one back there. Have this one turning orange, and of course the round zucchinis that I am treating like decorative pumpkins. There's some more back there. Alright, so a couple of other things. The other thing we're doing is trimming. Even if they're healthy, we want to trim a little bit, in part because I didn't get a trellis system up for these, and of course, as we've talked about before, and you might already know, pumpkin plants are a vining plant, and they'll grow these long, straight out vines that just keep going. They'll trail along on the ground as far as they can go. They'll climb when they can, but if you don't have anything for them to do that on, they're just going to keep going. So two of the things I snipped off earlier were just the ends of these couple of pumpkin plants right here. They're large, really healthy. We've got some healthy little pumpkins coming on there. So that's great, but they were coming out into this section where the rhubarb and the blueberry bushes are, and even if I had the cloth down, I don't want that, because then the leaves are going to start shading these leaves, and it just means there's too much. So one thing you can do is snip off the ends, and then over here I use some bricks to kind of train some of the healthy leaves to go back into the pumpkin patch. But right here is an example. This is really healthy, but you just nip it off where you want it to stop, essentially. And if I had wanted this to be even shorter, and as you can see, like right here, we've got another one coming up and growing, then you could nip anywhere after this. I could get rid of this whole thing if I wanted to, but you would nip anywhere after this, and then this should still keep growing. I've done this every year. I don't know what other gardeners would say, but I've never had an issue with it, and nipping it off is not going to kill the whole plant. It's going to, in my opinion, help keep it healthy and just keep it where you want it to go. This plant has a couple of the other examples I wanted to show you. These pumpkin leaves, the stalks to the leaves, are very fragile. So this is something that, well, and really because of this, it wasn't healthy anyway, but I was trying to thin things out over here, and I probably nicked it with my shoe or my knee. There's a few of them where I did that. So if you're thinning out a pumpkin patch like this, just be very careful not to break off your healthy leaves, the ones that you want to keep, because just bumping them a little bit wrong will snap them really easy. They're kind of like crunchy, thin, and watery on the inside sometimes. So that's kind of the consistency, and they just break really easy. The other thing this is a good example of is just that once I started messing with this plant and trying to clean out as much of the dead stuff as I could, the leaves fall over to the side. You can try to train them back upwards. I did that with another plant, which I'll show you in a moment, after I reorganized it and kind of trained it in the direction that I wanted it to go in the garden. But they'll kind of fall over to the side. They're just like top heavy and, like I said, very thin at the bottom. But you see, if I can get this one to remain healthy, all of these could potentially turn into additional pumpkins. So that's our goal here. So over time, the sun, they will move to catch the sunlight and hopefully stand themselves back up. But when you try to stand them up, you need like a brick or some stones or something to help prop them in the upright position to get them to stay there, because they'll just flop back over to the side. And then of course, again, in doing that, be careful that you don't snap off the whole stalk at the base of it and lose this whole thing, or snap off your healthy leaves that you're not trying to snap off, because the more that you touch it and manipulate it, that's the higher likelihood that that's going to happen. Okay, and this pumpkin plant's a good example of what we were just talking about. So see, it starts right here with that little dirt hole. I cleaned it up, moved it, found this end of it was actually over here with all these big other pumpkins. So it had trailed from the dirt hole and went that way. And then I have some extra space over here because I did pull one of these plants, and the other ones over here are smaller. So I'm trying to train it to go this way. I propped up those 3-ish leaves a little bit with some stones that I had down here just to kind of help it, you know, reach the sun whenever the sun does come back out here in Michigan. Hopefully that will help. But similar situation here with this little one. It fell over coming off of this plant and vining this way. All right, for the rest of today, I think I'm just going to get these blueberry bushes in the ground and then harvest all of those crops I just said, because sometimes that can take some time, and I've been down here for probably an hour and a half already, just cleaning up a few weeds in a couple places and dealing with the pumpkin plants. So time is always a thing, and I have a lot to harvest, but I'll show you guys that for the rest of the video. Here is today's harvest after doing a little bit of work in the garden. and then taking some time to actually harvest. I am so excited about this, you guys. This is more food than we had last year. The combined harvest that I've had so far and that I continue to get is so much more than we had last year. And again, that's the goal when you're starting out. It doesn't start out perfectly. It takes a long time to get just to this point and far beyond this. So season over season, you just do a little bit more, you get a little bit better, get some new systems in place potentially, and then you can start to have harvests like this. So like I said, we've been eating off of this garden all summer with some of the crops, and now we're starting to get those fall crops coming in and things that I'll be able to freeze for the winter, like the green beans and the peas, and those actually store in a root cellar really well, so that is very exciting. We're going to wrap it up for today, and of course the sun decided to come out right now as I'm leaving the garden. But this was a very productive day down here. I'm very excited. I got some other things weeded, got some things cleaned up. Tomato plants over there are weeded and looking good. I weeded the green beans as I was harvesting them, and same with the peas. So all in all, a really good day in the garden. All right, have a great day, everybody.